You're basically saying because of white supremacy, black people are acting this way because they have no mind for themselves. And they're all sheeple that all follow the freaking leader. And they see this thing and they gotta do it too. I remember when growing up, every Martin Luther King Day, I believe, we would watch Martin Luther King's speech. I Have a Dream. I remember getting very inspired back in those days that it isn't about race. Like, we are all one human race. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kuro, and I'm so glad that you all can be here today with me. Today we will be reacting to Charlie Cheon, the anti-Asianness within the black community. Let's get to the video.
I'm here to talk about the rampant anti-Asian racism I'm seeing from the black community. I started this YouTube channel a year ago to bring light to this specific issue.
You're racist. White people. Sorry. Oh no. I will make. I will drag this out. Let her talk.
Okay, I like that. Someone said, let her talk. Let her talk. Sure, he's very like-minded and well-grounded and, you know, wants to hear everyone's voice, even if he is with the other people's booing. Like, he understands, like, her voice is just as important as your voice or their voice or that person over there's voice. Everyone's voice is important. I feel like everyone's truth is the truth in the way. It's all in the point of view. She's not saying that black people are racist. She's saying that black people can be racist. They can be racist and do racist actions. They can. She's giving you her experience, and these people are booing her, and I just don't understand it. Back to the video. Okay.
Let's start by saying I have very much a problem when a person of any race, white, black, Latino, or otherwise, commit hate crimes against Asian people. It makes my blood boil. And let's start off
Against Asians. I understand what he's trying to say, but it makes my blood boil whenever I see hate crimes towards anyone. It doesn't matter your race. If I see a black person being racist to a white person, that makes my blood boil. I see an Indian person being racist to a black person, that makes my blood boil. I see a black person being racist to a Latino person or any color, it makes my blood boil, because it's not about race, it's about the human race, and every human deserves to be treated equally no matter their race. So I'm sure that's not what he meant, but that's just my opinion.
by saying that when a black person harms an Asian, this is why I need to make this video. People are not realizing the magnitude of what's going on because the national news media is not broadcasting.
He's not wrong. I remember actually arguing with an Asian person on YouTube or something, and they were trying to tell me like black people were killing Asian people and hurting Asian people every day, and I remember saying no, because it's not on the news. I've never heard of that, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I remember that conversation, and come to find out they weren't lying. So black males specifically have been running amok, and it's not just against the Asian community. The black males of our community have been killing their baby mamas, killing their children, killing their girlfriends every 5.5 hours as we speak. A black woman is getting killed by her boyfriend, by her baby daddy, or by her husband. And this is statistics. You can go on Instagram and follow Black Femicide and check. She posts every hour or something like that of just black women getting killed by their spouses or their loved ones. It's mostly black males, and I'm not putting the blame on black males, because obviously there's an issue within the black community that we need to fix, because obviously single mothers raising these men, then these men are killing the women. There's obviously an issue that we need to face, but unfortunately it's getting so bad to the point where it's no longer just in the black community. It's going to Caucasian people. Black men are starting to adopt more white women, they're starting to, R-word more other women of other races. So it's not just within the black community anymore. It's getting so bad to the point where they're going into other communities. And I'm not trying to villainize black men. I know there are very good black men out there, but they're not speaking up. And that's an issue. We need more good men to speak up, because I can't just sit here and say there are good black men and then none are speaking up. So you guys need to speak up so I don't look crazy, all right?
Anti-Asianness problem in the black community. In fact, I have not heard a single black activist, community leader, politician, media personality with a platform publicly mention a sentence about the rampant anti-Asianness within the black community.
Because they're not. I'm telling you, there's something else going on. The moment you do say something about it, you're racist, you're bigoted, you're a liar, you're so many negative things just for pointing out the truth. And I've only been able to find a few like-minded black people, but for the most part, most black people are very stubborn. They don't want to see what's right in front of them until it just clicks one day. It just clicks. And that kind of happened with me.
We need solidarity and unite against white supremacy. Well,
honestly, to say that white supremacy is the reason why blacks are racist towards other minority groups, that's just racist in my opinion, because you're basically saying that black people are so subordinate and so sheep-like that they can't think for themselves and that they can't act on their own actions using their own free will. You're basically saying because of white supremacy, black people are acting this way because they have no mind for themselves. And they're all sheeple that all follow the freaking leader. And they see this thing and they gotta do it too. You're basically saying that this person isn't accountable for their own actions because they're just doing what they're told. So if anything, blaming racism on white supremacy that a black person does to another race is racist.
What's going on here? What's actually going on here is that the black community has greater political power than the Asian community.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, black people, not this generation, but the past, our grandparents' generations and the older, their parents' generations, they fought for black rights. They fought for the Civil Rights Act. They fought during Reconstruction. They fought during Jim Crow, for rights. So if anything, black people should have most political power. That is true. We should be at the forefront. But at the same time, the other minorities, they're all our brothers, sisters as well. They can have a piece of the pie, if I might say. They don't deserve to be at the bottom of the pyramid. We are all equal. We're all created as one. But yeah, more political power because our grandparents and our great-grandparents, they fought for this. I mean, there were some other minorities at the time fighting alongside us, along with Caucasian people, of course, but it was mostly black people in charge in fighting for these rights. So, I mean, and not only that, like, the Asian community is very to themselves, if I might say. And that's okay, but I noticed, like, the Asian community, they won't really complain about things. And it's good that he actually is speaking up now, because this is an issue and you guys do need to address it, but at the same time, you don't have to address it alone. We can all address it together as a people.
Within the political aisle that purports to represent all of us, the progressive left. With this disparity in political power and influence, we're seeing a situation where anti-blackness in the Asian community is being publicly discussed, but not the anti-Asianness in the black community. Oppression. While you can say critical things about the groups lower in the latter. And so what...
Okay. What he's talking about is what's often referred to as by Candace Owens is Oppression Olympics. And basically it's where we get a group of minority people and they'll basically rank their struggles. So I believe that's the concept that he's talking about with the wokeism ideology. And I did fall for it at some point till I woke up and I was like, no, we're all people. We need to be treated accordingly as people. You know, I'm not going to take your struggles and just judge you based off of that, because in the end, isn't that the real racism? That's the real transphobia. That's the real phobia, you know, like the real, not phobia, because I'm not scared of anything, but that's the real oppression, is judging someone based off their struggles and using it against them. That's the real oppression. And I don't want to take someone's sexual orientation, I don't want to take somebody's race and then say they can't do that or this because of that. You can do anything. Believe it. This hierarchy thing, it has to go. It's the problem isn't systemic racism. Systemic racism is no longer existing. The problem is individual racism. In the individual person, you doing all this online and doing all this oppression Olympics isn't helping to these people with these racist ideologies. It's not helping. If anything, it's probably pissing them even more off. And really need to be cognizant of that. Like, what you're doing is adding fire to fire, and you can't fight fire with fire. It's impossible. Definition to insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. We need to change tactics because this isn't working.
The oppression of the group highest up on the oppression ladder.
This is racism. Why don't you see that? Like, this is the real definition of racism. Like, it's really not. Let's look up the definition of freaking racism, because I guess some people just never learned the word growing up. Dictionary from Oxford Languages: prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or an institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. That's the definition. And if you have the ability to tell someone that you can't be racist because you don't have any power, that's gaslighting, all right? Because in gaslighting yourself, because you're basically saying you're inferior to a group of people. Like, why would you ever think something like that? We are all human beings. We can all treat each other horribly, or we treat each other with respect, all right?
All throughout. And if there were to be, hypothetically, hundreds of videos of Asian people beating, spitting, and kicking black people, will we not be hearing relentlessly in our public discourse how the Asian community needs to address the anti-blackness within? Wouldn't the black community rightfully be demanding that of us? So why aren't we?
He's got a point. Like, I feel like if it was as bad as they say it is, why aren't we hearing more stories or cases about it on the news, you know, with Asian people giving black people hate? Like, we would see more cases. But on the other hand, we don't see any cases of blacks attacking Asians. We don't see any cases, hardly, of white people attacking Asians. And that's because it's not fitting the narrative. Listen to your subconscious. Your subconscious is getting triggered for a reason. Because your subconscious is just yelling at you like, hey, over here, you need to look at this. Let your ego go. Look at the facts for the facts. This is your subconscious. If you're getting triggered, that's your freaking subconscious going, hey man, you need to look at this. Because as people, we're always evolving. And if you're not evolving and learning new things and constantly changing your opinion, you're stagnant. You're just not even existing. You're just stale. I don't know. You need to grow as a person, because it's what we do. Our bodies are constantly growing every day. You're growing new cells every day. Grow your mind. grow your soul.
Watching. Wish me luck.
I'm wishing you luck, alright, because I already know saying half of the stuff you said probably got so many people triggered and they're probably upset. But let's read some comments. As a black girl, I really find it annoying when people say that black people can't be racist and then do these racist acts. I believe that everyone is capable of being racist if we just need to love each other and accept our differences. Thank you for this video. This had to be talked about. I'm a 57 black man and love this video. Very thoughtful, very measured in its tone, very intelligently presented, very needed. All facts with no drama. Keep it up, young man. All the sane people of every race must ally against this nonsense. Thank you for your videos, man. Yes, this is very true. Okay, we can all agree that there is a mental illness amongst not most, some of this generation. There is a mental illness going on that is going untreated and ignored. And I feel like they're the loudest, and that the majority of us are just sitting back and just watching, like, just taking it for what it is. Normal people aren't going to be the loudest of anything, so it's people who are yelling and screaming, they're the ones who are taking control. Like, we need to step up. Alright, so this video is going on a bit longer than originally intended. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you leave a like and subscribe down below. Please leave your comments and your thoughts. If you do agree, share your thoughts. If you disagree, please share your thoughts. No hate here. Even if you have hate to share and hate to give, you can go ahead and leave that down in the comments below, because whether you comment hateful or in support, you're giving me growth on the algorithm. So I appreciate it either way, and I really do appreciate if you agree and share your support. And please, let's fight against this, whatever this is going on. Let's fight against this evil, because it wants us to hate each other, and I really do believe it's on a spiritual level, and it's up to the sane ones to fight against it, to overcome it. So in a way, I believe we are all gems. We all shine. We need to shine bright enough, but let's not let it win. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great evening, have a great day.